Hello everyone, I am Mr. Low from Excel Software. Today, I want to share with you the AutoCount Universal Import Plugin. Previously, I recorded a video about the AutoCount Import by Excel feature. Okay, if anyone is interested, you can find my YouTube video to see how the Import by Excel function operates. Today, the Universal Import plugin we are discussing actually has similar functions to the Import by Excel feature. Similar Both functions are used for importing Excel, okay? As long as it's from another system, we can import the data. The first import by Excel is used for some newer companies, okay? When you want to transfer the data into AutoCount, we use the import by Excel function, this concept. But if you are using not just new data or new companies, and you might have daily sales transactions or purchase transactions, then we would use this universal import plugin. So this is more versatile compared to the import by Excel plugin. What are its advantages and what are the differences? These two universal import plugins and the import by Excel function. Okay, the first difference is in the upload method. So import by Excel uses a copy and paste method. You copy and paste the Excel into our AutoCount. So this universal import uses an upload method. Okay, you have the Excel file and you upload it into our AutoCount through that Excel file. So the upload method is a bit different. The second difference is that its power range is relatively large. Import by Excel covers those master files like debtor, creditor, stock, and also price history, opening stock, accounts receivable, accounts payable, general ledger, and so on. However, this universal import plugin covers everything, including sales invoices, quotations, sales orders, and so on. So it's very comprehensive. Okay, for stop, there is something like stop issue, stop adjustment, and other things, as well as the purchase function. If you want to see all the detailed tables that can be imported, you can visit my website, okay? So this universal import plugin can also import the opening, the last year's accounting figures can also be imported through this universal import plugin, so its coverage is a bit broader. In addition, it can also customize its Excel headers. If it's the regular Excel import concept, the Excel headers, because we copy and paste, the header names must be exactly the same. If your header names are different, we won't be able to import them. However, this is the upload method. The Excel can be called ABC, okay? The data code might be called ACC number, but our Excel template is data code. So we can first convert the Excel header, okay, the name before we import it. So the universal import plugin can do this action, but importing by Excel cannot. Okay, and finally, if some important info is missing in our Excel, we can use this mapping method to look it up. Okay, do some settings first. So for example, the Excel only has the data name, but no data code. Okay, so our system at the very least needs the data code, right? This is the most important. We can only look up the data name to find the AutoCount data code. Okay, before we import, we need to do some small settings. Okay, not just this data code, there might be other things like item code that can also be found this way. Okay, these are just some small concepts, and I will definitely show you how this plugin operates. Okay, first you need to download this universal import plugin. So after you install this plugin, the first thing you notice is that it can't be used. The first thing you must do is open the access rights. Only those with access rights can operate this way. So go to general maintenance, then to access right maintenance to find this universal import plugin. So you can open all the access rights forgiven. So once you open it, you can see these functions. Okay, you can see these functions from here. A list of functions comes out one by one. Okay, so here the concept used is the same as Excel. So you need to download this Excel template. Okay, you must go to our website to download these Excel templates. So there are different Excel templates. So okay, you can use our Excel template. You can copy and paste everything into this Excel here, or follow the corresponding column name. Okay, the corresponding Excel header, I should say Excel header. So you fill it in your Excel there. Okay, fill it in your Excel there, matching exactly the same header, the name of the Excel header. I have seen in previous videos, we can also import that UDF as long as in your system you have added Let's talk about this column with UDF, okay? When we import, we can do it all at once to that Excel import. It's exactly the same as importing by Excel. You just make sure the info you want to import matches the Excel header exactly, okay? The rest is not important, okay? If you find it inconvenient, just delete it. If you don't like this or are worried that it might be none during import, just delete it, okay? If you don't delete it, it's basically fine because it follows the Excel header to decide which row to import. So you can save it, okay? So now let's try importing. Okay, let's try importing. But before importing, there's one more step you need to do, okay? You need to do a setting, okay? Do a setting. So this setting allows us to fill in its sheet name. This is truncate in case the data name is too long or if the address is too long, okay? The address is 40 characters. If you put in 45 or 50, there will be many errors.
If you are, regardless of whether it's 40 or 45, you just take 40, then you just go.
Okay, going back, before we import, we must change the sheet name, okay? So it's easier for us to import, okay? For example, this one is called sheet 1, okay? You can use sheet 1 or you can use customer, whatever you prefer, okay? Whatever you like, you can use any name, you can put customer, okay? Like this sheet name is customer. So when we import, we follow this sheet name to import. So let's do a test, okay? For example, this is for data. Okay, our sheet name is customer. Okay, you just fill in customer. After filling it in, just save it. Okay, save it, and then we try to import the customer's code AR, import data. Okay, so find the corresponding one. If it's customer, then find AR. If it's supplier, then find AP. If it's account code, then it's GL account number. Okay, if it's stock, then it's stock item. So now we are the customer. So we import data, and then you browse that Excel file. It will check here. And if there is an error, it will show up. If there is no error, it will follow the Excel header and its sheet name, and it will find that sheet name. Okay, then it will import. You just press import and it will let you know which ones are successful and which ones have errors. Okay, so the sheet name is very, very important. You see, if I accidentally import the wrong table, it will tell you, oh, this worksheet cannot be found. Because its sheet name itself is incorrect. Or if it doesn't notify you, you might make some wrong decisions. But compared to importing by Excel, there are fewer features here. Okay, importing by Excel allows you to choose whether to auto-generate those agents or something. Here, there are fewer features. It's just a simple upload. So usually for universal import, we prefer to import these quotations, so sales orders, delivery orders, and sales invoices because these have items. Okay, with items, if you are using another accounting system, okay, website system or something, and you want to import back to AutoCount, then we use this method. Okay, since you've already set up the other systems, we'll use this method. Okay, use this plugin to help you import things from other systems into AutoCount. So part 1, what I want to explain ends here. Okay, now I'll move on to part 2. Part 2 is actually about import. This is a less frequently used function, okay? It's a less frequently used function, which allows you to find some very important columns through Excel, okay? But those are missing from the Excel file, okay? For example, the Excel file has the data's name, but not the data's code. When we import into AutoCount, it must have the data code. Without the data code, it cannot be imported. In this situation, you can only use this method to do a lookup. Otherwise, you have to manually do the lookup yourself. Just imagine if every time we download from another system, you need to manually do it once, it would waste a lot of your time. So here we make some adjustments, and if you slightly change the Excel header, it can be imported. For example, the data code exported from your Excel is A00001, but in our system, the data is 300-A001, okay? So every time your Excel exports, we have to use lookup and organize it manually in Excel, which is very time consuming. Okay, in this situation, we directly use the third method called column searching. Okay, and it's in this universal plugins column searching. You only need to set it once and then it can be imported. So without further ado, let me explain this feature. Okay, here I made a small sample, which is added an item code. This item code is called A item, okay? Just made an item code, okay? In our system, it is this item code A item, UOM is unit. Okay, so when I export it, I assume that the exported account number is just this, okay? A0001 and A0002 and this company name, okay? The rest so just treat it as the same, okay? I will change it to be exactly the same, okay? For the other column, okay? Including those quantities and unit prices. I will follow the system's Excel template, assuming it is exactly the same. Okay, so now we are doing a revision. Okay, doing a revision. First is the company name. Okay, yeah, how do we set the company name in our system? Okay, so in our system, the company name is called debtor name. Okay, so going back to review the second function, if we want to do mapping, we go to setting to do a mapping. Okay, this mapping is in the sales invoice. Okay, it is in the sales invoice, not in the debtor. So in the sales invoice here, we need to map this debtor name. Debtor name here, we map to the one just specified called debtor name. Okay, called debtor name. So we map it in debtor name. For those bills that are not mapped, try not to include them. So, oh, sorry, it's following this Excel. This Excel is exported. It has company name. So in the setting here, it's debtor name we map to company name. Okay. So if it has spaces, we follow with spaces. Okay. Follow its Excel to space it out. Then the second one is debtor code. Here we cannot put account number because our system is 300. We only look at the 300 code. We do not look at that UDF column. Okay. So we cannot follow the UDF old code to import the old code in the debtor. In this system, it is the old code. So we do something like lookup to look it up. Okay, that's. So I made a small setting. Okay, so it must use this column searching setting. Okay, so for column searching, the first is document name. Okay, document name, you need to go to this sheet name. Sheet name here has a document name. So if this is a sales invoice, then the document name is sales invoice. So here I also set the sheet name. Do you remember before we import, we must set the sheet name properly? So now the sheet name is invoice, and I have also set the sheet name accordingly. Okay, after setting it up, just save it. Just save it. Okay, then go back to the first setting, the column searching one. So this document name, once understood, let's see what we need to set because now it's the debtor code. So the debtor code is a master. Then here, the table type is master or detail. Detail refers to items, item details. Master refers to things like customer addresses, names, phone numbers, and so on. Okay, so we need to map this debtor code. How you enter this code or whatever is not important. We first need to find this table and use this column search here. Why do we use it less often? Because generally you need a bit of IT knowledge, okay, to understand how to set these four columns, how to set these four places, 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe there are no issues with the earlier part. Okay, to set these four columns, you must log into our database. Okay, check what names we have in the database. So after logging into the database, so over at the AutoCount database, okay, let's say this is the client's database. So we don't call the client customer, we call them debtor. So you must find that debtor. Okay, if this is the table name, okay, the part in front doesn't matter. Okay, you don't need to worry about the part in front. The part at the back is the name of the table, debtor. So fill in the table name debtors here. Okay, this target column is the column in Excel. Okay, in Excel, we need to refer to it as what column. Okay, in Excel, we call it debtor code. The previous setting is the Excel setting, and the latter three settings are the database settings. These three columns are the database settings. This is the name of the table in the database. Which row in the database are we looking for? Okay, this is the row that already exists in the database. It needs to match with this Excel lookup, okay? That field, okay? It needs to match with the Excel lookup field. The result from the lookup is here. The result from the lookup is here. So the last three are from the database. Okay, first let's talk about how to find this target column. The target column is this Excel. We find this, okay? Find this. Imagine we want to find this data code, but the data code here is empty. If it's empty, we need to use a method to find it through this row in the database, okay? So through which row? So in the database, we look at which row we need to find. We need to find this UDF old code. So UDF old code, we need to find this row here. And the result we get is with this 300, which is called account number. 300 is also called account number. Okay, so the whole setting is just that simple. Okay, so it's that simple. Once you set it up, you just save it. Okay, save it and then it's done. Finally, the last action, okay, in the system, it doesn't know you want to capture this. It doesn't know you want to capture this square. Okay, this account number, it doesn't know. Okay, unless you notify it. So you definitely have to do this manually. Okay, it must follow this R column search. Okay, it must follow this column search. Fill in we need to fill in the data code. Okay, underscore should follow UDF OQUD. Follow these two columns, one target, one refer, which is the target's underscore, then refer to this code. So it knows you want to look up this place. So it's the target data code. Okay, then underscore where or UDF underscore OQUD. Okay, OQUD. So this column is the most important. It relies on this to find in our system and help fill in this data code. So this data code is used when we import. It is a necessary code. Okay, without this code, it cannot be imported. And to our sales invoice or credit note, both use this name. Okay, sales invoice is the header of this column. So once you reach here, just save it. And now we will try it out. Okay, if you have completed the setting, we will go into Universal Import Sales Invoice. Then you browse and select this sales invoice. Okay, you see, now it is imported. Okay, it is successful. It is a new one. You press import and it is successful. If you encounter an error, you can export those error records and check where the mistake is. Okay, find out where the mistake is and then continue to modify. Okay, you see the system automatically helps you find this 300A001. But in my Excel, these two codes are not present. So through my previous setting, it successfully found these two codes. Okay, so you can check your sales invoice. See, now these two pieces of data have been entered and these two sales records have been updated into our system for you. So this function is very, very important, especially since e-invoicing is about to be implemented. Okay, many other might use other websites, okay, to issue orders to customers. And if their website doesn't have the account function, they can import the data this way. Okay, our system. Okay, but this universal import, okay, its mapping function just now, it can only do one mapping. Like if you have 3 or 4 websites, okay, with different Excel files to import, then it won't work. You have to use our other plugin called AutoCount Import Plugin, or one called AutoCount Integrate Plugin. These two plugins also import Excel, but they can support more than one website's sales invoice table and purchase invoice table, allowing for more than one mapping. Okay, a simpler setting, more powerful, and more errors can be detected for you to check the problem. So I will conclude the explanation of this universal import plugin here. Thank you, everyone.